Reviewee is the head of Waterdale. She's keen to improve the school's image with the parents and the local community. Generally speaking, she's happy with the performance of her staff, but recent complaints about one of them, Geoffrey, have given her cause for concern. She's called him in to discuss some of the problems. But is her own performance likely to help or hinder the situation?
Good. Well, it won't take very long, I hope, because we've got 3 more people to see this morning. The football result was good. That was a good result. I wanted to sort of draw your attention to 1 or 2 things. It actually occurred that last week Mrs. Carter and I went round the school together. And you know that Mrs. Carter is on the Board of Governors. It was a little bit distressing because we went from Miss Fox's room into yours, and it was quite obvious that the display materials in your room were really very shabby. I don't know whether you want to say something about that.
Well, obviously, no. Basically, the main problem is I've got these clubs to run and so forth. So obviously, I've got not much time to actually prepare displays and so forth.
Well, if you look around the school, I think you'll find that the classrooms where the children are working hardest are those where they see there is a motivation behind it and they see that you take a pride in what they've done.
Maybe you may feel that's the case. That's right. Mine are producing as good at work.
There is also the matter of looking in the folders and finding that a lot of the work is extremely slapdash and really scruffy. I mean, there were 1 or 2 examples of spelling errors, of tatty presentation, of folder covers all bent and crumpled. I mean, what are you doing about this?
Well, I was marking work, monitoring the work as it goes along. I do obviously give them practice pieces to actually work on, and I do...
I mean, it seems you're on the football field and doing these things, but you're not actually in the classroom looking at the work.
Oh, yeah.
And there was another matter that came to my notice. Mr. Cox came up to school. Mr. Cox, a very influential gentleman, and he happened to say that David's work did not seem to have been marked or looked at for several weeks. And when I looked at it, quite honestly, I agreed. It was very untidy. There was no evidence of your having helped him very much with his handwriting.
Well, I have set him work to do at home. I said, as I said before, I set every work to do at home, practice pieces,
etc.
etc.
You must follow it up, because, I mean, a boy like that needs somebody over his shoulder saying, come on, David, have you done it, checking on it, this kind of thing.
As I say, it's basically a shortage of time. If I haven't got the time to spend with him, sat down in the classroom...
Setting an example, actually, is partly it, and I think that you must set a better example in your own efficiency. When I looked at his file, there were bits missing. I couldn't actually get hold of his most recent profile. The deadlines that I set you were not met.
Well, the reason was because I was so busy. I was doing the Duke Edinburgh Award that weekend.
I know that you are busy, but I think your priorities need to be sorted out.
But if I'm out most evenings to about 6 o'clock with the football club or the rugby club...
Well, I understand that, but, we're talking about examples, we're talking about efficiency, and I don't want to sort of get too personal about this, but it did strike me that often some of the clothes that you wear to school aren't exactly appropriate, I don't feel, to your role as a teacher at the school. I mean, for example, the T-shirt and tracksuit bottoms that you're wearing now, I feel, are rather informal. I mean,
obviously, I teach a lot of PE, did a lot of games with the pupils, so obviously I'm in and out all the time. And the parents wear this quite regularly at home, this kind of dresses.
But I mean, we ask the children to wear a school uniform. We ask them for certain standards in their dress, and I feel that as a teacher, you should be setting an example in what you wear.
I don't feel it matters what you wear as long as you can produce good work. And all right, so I'm sloppily dressed, but so I've got to wear a suit and then I can think. Just because I'm wearing a suit, I can think.
No, it's nothing to do with that. You know that's not what I'm saying. I just think we should set a good example. There are falling roles. We have to be careful that the image...
So you want me to dress neatly so falling roles? You want me to actually massage everything and not worry about the pupils and their clubs after school, the development of the whole pupil, that kind of thing's out the window because of falling roles? Is that right?
Not at all. I'm just saying that we need to set a better example in the academic areas of this school.
So we're just posturing? Is that what we're trying to do?
No, not at all. Not at all. Look, I don't want to... I've got an awful lot of people to see this morning, and really all I just wanted to point out were these 1 or 2 areas where I think some attention should be paid.
I don't think this is good enough, as far as I can see. All you've done is have me in here and just tore me off a strip, and now I've got to go out this room and teach a classroom full of children.
Which you will do more efficiently for being aware of some of the faults that I have mentioned.
I don't feel I will, because in actual fact, as I say...
I hadn't intended quite to lose my temper in that way, but I'm in a very difficult position. I'm being pulled in all directions. I've had complaints about him, And the parent of that particular boy had been hauling me over the coals, and it was extremely embarrassing because I was left looking very stupid without the proper documents. Perhaps I did rather overreact a little bit.
She was totally unreasonable. Yeah, she was demanding more of me. She wouldn't actually say to me, don't do these clubs, because obviously school thrives in these clubs, one of the things I have to offer. But at the same time, she's demanding more of me all the time. And I don't know where she puts me behind the time from. It's ridiculous.
Obviously, some things have to be said that produce growth in the person you're talking to. They have to make that person look at how he is performing. And perhaps the way it came out maybe was a bit negative, but I felt by the end of the interview he had seen my point of view a bit, and I will try and follow up.